Shalom. This is Abik back with another edification. I want to thank all of my subscribers, all 202 of my subscribers. I appreciate every subscriber. Shows that you're tuning in. I want to wish all my subscribers high health and high spirits. And I wish that all of my subscribers and your loved ones are safe and protected against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines, here in America. It's 2025, the 7th of May, and I saw this article. It says, NC couple who voted for Trump feel betrayed after son detained by ICE. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? These so-called whites that are the Edomites of the Bible have fooled all of their followers and supporters. It's a beautiful thing to see that these devils are still being devils. These so-called whites are still being devils. And so-called black, Latino, Native American man, woman, and child, Gentiles, they still don't know who the devil is. All right? Still don't know who the children of Satan are. Anyone who doesn't know that the so-called whites, who are the Edomites of the Bible, because I know Christianity is not teaching that the Edomites are the so-called whites in the church, and they got that stupid-ass white Jesus in there, all right, whose name is Latin and it goes back to Earth Pig. We know this already, but the Gentiles, that's what they get for trusting in these damn devils. Okay, so it says, NC couple who voted for Trump feel betrayed after son detained by ICE. Uh-oh. Let's see what it's talking about here. All right. Fair use, fair use.
Easiest term that they use is a crime of moral turpitude. These are crimes that are just devious in nature. And so you're going to say, okay, this person, we don't want them in our country because the nature of their charge is so horrific that they don't even...
Well, we're not going to listen to that because these Gentiles are trying to take up for the Gentiles, and Trump is not the only devil that's a devil, all right? Trump is a devil, but I think Trump is doing a good job. I like this devil. I like the way he fucks shit up for Babylon. So, all praises to the Most High Yahweh. All right. I'm excited that these so-called whites rulership is crashing. No toilet paper and there's no water and all this. Man, listen, I want to see America get destroyed by the God of Israel. Too bad you so-called black, Latino, Native American men, women, and children are still running behind the slave masters, white Jesus, okay? Too bad, too sad, man. And looks like these individuals found out the hard way that these devils are still devils, right? Let's see here. It reminds me of the little Asian lady or the little Moabite in the movie Sinner. You know, it's just like the brother, Elder Zabak said. He said, the Asian in the movie, she was down. She was down with so-called blacks in the movie. But then when them Edomites started attacking the so-called blacks, who are the tribe of Judah in the Bible, as soon as them Moabites, them so-called Asians, they saw that them so-called white devils, them Edomites, was trying to kill the so-called blacks in that movie Sinners. Asian woman, she wanted her and her husband to leave. She was like, "Shoot, look, this ain't our fight. This is between the niggas and the whites, right?" So it just goes to show that in these last days, nobody got our back. Everybody is over here. All these other races, these other Gentiles, these non-Israelite Gentiles are in America to profit off of the market, with their, their items and stuff as merchants. But let's see here. North Carolina, Queen City News. Slovakia. North Carolina U.S. citizens Martin Verdi and Deborah Ray, R-E-Y, sounds like some Issacharites, some so-called Mexicans, found out the hard way that voting for these gringos is not a good idea, okay? La Gringo es el diablo, okay? En Estados Unidos, okay? La Gringo is el diablo, okay? Yeah, so it says North Carolina U.S. citizens Martin Verdi and Deborah Ray, who voted for President Donald Duck Trump, the devil, the Edomite, in 2024, says their adult son, Augustin Gentile. All praises, man. I would not want the last name Gentile, man. Damn, man. I met a damn so-called black man named Esau. I'm like, how in the hell did you get that damn name, man? He might be a damn Edomite. You know what I'm saying? I probably got to do my research on this brother or this, questionable brother. But that's neither here nor there. All right. Augustine Gentile is being detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. All right? I made a video. Well, let me keep reading. I'll get into it in a minute. It says Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes details the case. Latest stories from QNews.com. Lawmakers work to protect IMF. Not sure what that is. It says IMF rights. Monroe mother charged after leaving kids in car. Well, that's not it. That was the latest story. Slovakia. Okay, so that's the story. So-called Mexicans voted for this Edomite devil, Trump, and found out the hard way that these devils are still the devil. Okay? I'm going to go over here. This is Lamentations 4:17, because too many of our people, so-called blacks, Latino, Native Indians, they still look at these so-called whites as the saviors. These so-called whites have conquered and controlled the resources, and they're continuing to sink their nails into any nation that will allow these devils to show up smiling, pretending to be polite, crouching down like a damn tiger, like they're no threat. These so-called white devils have perfected the art of being polite at first. Okay? At first, they've perfected the art of being polite at first. And they're really not to be trusted, right? I don't trust so-called whites, and I don't trust so-called black, Latino, Native American, man, woman, and child, Gentile either. They're all considered strange to me. All right? Now, America is Mystery Babylon, and it's scheduled to be destroyed by the God of Israel. All right, the God of the Bible. All right, the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible is not a Christian Bible. The God of the Bible is not a Christian. I tell you who is a Christian. Satan is a Christian. Okay, Satan is a Christian. White Jesus is a Christian. White Jesus is the king of the Gentiles. Okay, so that little hippie who's wearing the rainbow flag, Jesus, man, I don't want to hear shit about that damn devil. Okay, now it says Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help in our watching. We have watched for a nation, talking about the so-called whites, a nation of Gentiles, right, that could not save us. I made a video that was titled Stop voting for future slaves. These so-called Edomites are going to be slaves in the kingdom of heaven. All right. America is the king of the heaven for the Gentiles right now. Right now, the Gentiles are in full rulership. This is the time to be a Gentile. If someone or anyone wants to be a Gentile, now's your chance in 2025. Live up your Gentile life, party, get drunk, get high, marry the same sex, be a Gentile right now, all right? Because in the next go around, after this world is destroyed by nuclear destruction by the God of Israel, okay? We know that Revelation states that these devils are going to attempt to go to war with the Lamb. They're going to attempt to go to war with Michael and his angels. And these devils, these non-Israelite Gentiles, will be destroyed, okay, by the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai, okay? So, again, hopefully somebody may edify. This is real short. Too bad, too sad. These so-called Black, Latino, Native American, Gentile, man, woman, and child is relying on a nation of Gentiles in the so-called whites to save them, and they won't be saved. All right? Hopefully somebody been edified. This was a beak with a short edification. We still got these Gentile, so-called Black, Latino, Native American Indians, man, women, and children running around America, fully indoctrinated with that foolish one world religion, Christianity. All right? This has been a beak with another edification. I want to thank all of our subscribers, all 202 of my subscribers. I want to wish all of my subscribers high health and high spirits, and I wish that all of my subscribers and your loved ones are safe and protected against these agendas that are waged against us here behind enemy lines here in America. Shalom.